Hi, this is Michelle McGraw at Scrap and Michelle, and I am here with Stacy Julian from Big Picture Scrapbooking. We are at Mom 2.0 in Houston, Texas, and we'll have a couple of questions for Stacy. First question is, do you have any advice for any moms or any woman who has a dream and wants to pursue it but has no idea whether it's worth it? Okay.
Well, yes, I hope, first of all, I hope you have a dream. and you probably do. And when you have a dream, it's my guess or my hunch that it's centered around something you feel very passionate about. And I think that stems from somewhere that you feel like you have something to offer. So I would look very closely at that passion. For example, my passion is scrapbooking, and probably even more specifically telling stories and recognizing through stories sort of a greater meaning or clarity about your life. The stuff that, helping yourself understand that you matter and what you create matters.
Right.
Okay, so I think you need to scour your passion for problems. When you can identify a problem that you have and you can create a solution for yourself, you can safely assume that other people have that same problem and that other people will benefit by your solution. So, case in point, I loved scrapbooking. I didn't love stuff about scrapbooking like the fact that I had to scrapbook every photo, the fact that it had to be uber artistic, the fact that it had to be done in perfectly chronological order. So I created a new way to scrapbook. And it worked for me, and it's worked for thousands of other women.
Thank you, and I know for me it was like a lifesaver. It was like somebody said, you know what? It's okay not to and like people always say to me, I don't scrapbook because I don't know how to do it, and I'm afraid I'm gonna do it wrong. And my answer always is, just do it. There's no right or wrong, and it was like you gave me permission to to just do it.
Yeah, that permission on. Yeah.
The scrapbooking community is a very tight, close-knit community, and I know social media has really come into the picture. So how do you feel that social media has changed the scrapbooking community?
Well, so social media has changed everything. Social media inside scrapbooking, from my opinion, is just connecting us even more. So, when I was first introduced to Twitter, for example, it was sold to me by my friend Kathy as a microblogging service. So when I had a thought or an idea or a link to something I loved, just something quick and easy that I wanted to just broadcast without opening up my blogging platform page and logging and making sure I spelled everything right, you know what I mean? It was a way for me to say, here's what's on my mind right now in 140 characters.
Right.
And I really was doing that at first from the standpoint of, I don't want to forget this. Like, I'm probably going to go back and find this and maybe use it on a scrapbook page. Does that make sense? It was really, and it's becoming so much more, and it's enabled me to find out who's following me, and and it gives me a chance, for example, going back to that advice of, I don't know if I actually shared that advice. Okay, so one of the things from the last question is really, I think you need to form a list, sort of, you know how big companies have a board of directors? I think each individual person should have a board of mentors. So on Twitter, I follow my mentors. Now, the other thing that social media, I think, is doing for scrapbooking is it's leveling the playing field. So when I entered scrapbooking, you had to be recognized. You had to have someone like a magazine tell you that you were important, that you created stuff that was worth publishing. And anymore, you don't need that. If you're creating great content and you have something to share, then by all means share it. And if it's good, it will float to the top, and someone will find it and someone will benefit from it. Have a great platform and then share it through social media, and you will be discovered.
It's exciting to be able to connect with so many people that all over the world now, too. That's what I love about it.
There's no limit.
My last question is about Big Picture Scrapbooking has been, how many years has it been now? 5 years? Okay. So when it first started, there weren't a whole lot of digital scrapbooking classes, or even integrated into the classes that offering. So now I'm starting to see little inklings of it, and I'm curious how that's changing Big Picture Scrapbooking, and whether some of the classes will be revamped, or how that's going to work.
So that's a great question. I don't just think, I'm not the only one that thinks this, that digital scrapbooking, digital technology has changed everything that we believed about photography and about scrapbooking, about memory keeping, about sharing stories. So you had better embrace it, because it's here to stay, and it's just going to continue to be a part of our lives. When I watched Addie, my 3.5-year-old, with my iPhone, there was no question that I had better embrace digital capture and sharing. So at Big Picture Scrapbooking, we've had many talks about this, many discussions. We initially tried to sort of jump on the digital bandwagon just because we thought we should. I'm just going to be really honest with you and up front. And then we realized that Big Picture is really more about the philosophy of scrapbooking, so not so much the how-to, but the why-to, okay? So we have now backed up a little bit and said there's a lot of really great people that are teaching digital scrapbooking, the how-to, better than we can, so we will incorporate what they're doing with digital into our classes that really, I think we do the best job of teaching why-to. So we're incorporating digital where it makes sense inside our philosophy. So for example, I teach a class called Library of Memories, and I'm part of now my strategy in relieving women of the guilt and the obligation. The message of don't scrapbook every photo is share photos on a Shutterfly share site. Upload your 365 to ShutterCal. In other words, take advantage of all these online tools as part of your digital workflow so that you can just focus on, let's say, your 10 most favorite photos every year and make 10 scrapbook layouts that really, really matter to you. Like, for example, Kathy Zielski taught a class that was really a Twitter class. It was called microblogging, but I think everybody has a little to say. We have traditional scrapbookers that are now including digital templates, so that just basically our students and our community has choices about how. So again, we teach the why, but we're providing more choices about how they're going to sort of capture and share.